Two.
You get nervous when you got good-looking people sitting next to you. Everybody's been on the show up until this point been ugly, so it's easy.
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
it's like, yo, what's up? So now we got the baddies in here. It's like, yo, I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to say. I should say you say it. It's like,
Like DJ Envy be like special guest to everybody.
Yeah.
That's how we feel right now.
Nah. I'm gonna tell y'all, both of y'all beautiful. I'm like, yo, nah.
Beautiful
I'm
guest.
like, yo, we gotta have them on the
show.
show. Yeah, they be cute, but they ain't y'all.
Okay.
$1 million pose with these $1 million flows. I ain't thinking about a deal, ain't $1 million no. Back up on my face.
Welcome back for another episode of the Male Intuition. It's all cheeses and smiles up here. We got two beautiful guests with us. I'm nervous. I don't know about my co-host right now, but we about to make this shake. We got a wonderful topic for today, and I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people out there. And I'm excited for our followers and everybody that's, touching with this topic because it's something I've been harping on like every day. And I'm excited to talk about it. But before we even get into that, you already know it's yours truly, Dejan. I'm here with my co-host.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in again. It's your boy Kavon. And as Dejan said, we have two lovely guests. I'll let them introduce themselves.
So my name is Kelly,
And I'm Shannon.
and we're sisters, and we are the new bloggers on the block. We have our blog, kellyandshannonm.com. So it's about lifestyle, fashion, beauty, our traveling, our fitness. So if you're interested, stay tuned.
Yeah, check it out. We decided to start the blog. A couple of years ago, we had this idea, and it never really came to fruition until this summer, actually. So we're really proud of our little baby, and it's been a journey, but I feel like this is just the beginning, and we're really happy to be here with you. So thank you for having
so
guys.
much for having
Thanks
us.
for coming.
Dope experience.
Yeah.
Really quickly, before we jump straight into it, you said it took a little bit for you to actually manifest this baby, right? What were some of the hurdles? One or two things that really
Yeah, so I would say a main one was just like pure fear.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're putting out something that's like a passion or like something that's a part of you, you get like really nervous like how it's gonna be received by other people.
Mm-hmm.
So like Instagram's full of haters, full of like just trolls, weirdos.
All day, every day.
So like,
Yeah.
and not only that, it's just there's so many bloggers out there. Like I feel like it's overly saturated. So it's like, do we really wanna, kind of join this? But it only felt right. It's something that we were really interested in doing for years. So just why not?
Just to piggyback off that, we're normally really private people.
Yeah. That's it.
And we've come out of our shell, but we were shy, growing up, and I think we're developing.
Not really shy.
Not shy.
Maybe like kind of sheltered.
Maybe sheltered.
We grew up with like strict parents. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So our upbringing was very sheltered. So having that mentality of being a private person, and then going from that to putting your life on a platform where everyone can see, everyone can
Accessible to
retweet,
any and everyone.
accessible
Right.
to anyone.
Literally putting yourself out
Literally
Yeah.
putting
Right,
yourself
right.
out there and susceptible to, negative comments and things that would really hurt us since it's so personal to us, was a big step. And I think once we got over that hurdle, things have flowed, and then the fears have kind of subsided a little
Right.
bit.
And I'm sure you guys have had the same experience, like
Oh
putting
my
this
God.
out. Like it's
What?
not easy,
Yo,
Not at all.
when we started, I really can't say a lot of people was doing podcasts like that, were they? We started this years ago.
But podcasts have been a thing for
They've
wow.
like been a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Right.
I think that's why, for me, it was hard for me to kind of like take this as serious as I should have, until people were kind of like, "Yo, we watching."
Right.
Yeah.
Yo, we.
That made me get on my feet
it
too,
was
because I'm
like,
like,
Yeah.
it kind of started off, and I don't know if you guys go through this as well. Like, it started off as a thing where it's like, okay, I know I'm doing it, but it's not that I don't care about it, but nobody's really paying attention. Like ain't nobody really checking for it, so like I'm not gonna go that hard. And I think me and him both, like we've had similar things where I had to call him like, yo, nah. people be listening. Like because they coming up to me like, when's the next episode? When is this? When is that?
Right.
Can I be on the show and everything like that? So, I think the key for all four of us is just that we started.
Right.
Yeah.
The key is to start. And also to see it through.
It's interesting that you raised that point because it's a great segue into what the topic is for today, right?
Facts.
You said that one of the biggest hindrances for you starting or manifesting was that peer, how peers were going to view what you were doing, how many people were actually doing what you're doing. So it's oversaturated. Should I do it? Are people going to actually watch me? Are people going to actually listen to what I have to say? And great that you found the courage to dig within yourself to say, okay, it doesn't matter necessarily what other people are going to say. This is about us doing what we feel is true to who we are.
So basically, from like what you guys have seen, and now the bubble, so to speak, that you guys are in, which is like fashion, beauty, travel. What like is there anything or anyone that you guys compare yourself to? Like do you compare yourselves to anybody?
For me, I feel like I'm a rare case because I feel like I don't really compare myself to other people. Like I know in social media, like people become like depressed, sick, like looking at other people's feed, like, how come I'm not like this person? How come I don't have as many followers?
Right.
This and that. It's funny because I would say, like, did you guys ever have Tumblr back in the day?
I never had.
I was never big on Tumblr.
I never jumped on it. I never got on it.
A lot of my friends were huge on Tumblr.
But Tumblr was big, right?
Tumblr was
It
huge.
was like Tumblr and Twitter
Tumblr was like
at
the
that point.
OG.
Okay, right.
Tumblr was the OG.
I say it was like the OG
I
Instagram.
love that, because it's literally essentially the same.
It's the same
thing.
thing.
Same platform.
So like, I feel like I would not compare, but like on Tumblr, they would have like the prettiest girls, and I used to be like, wow, like they're mad pretty. But like, as soon as I like turn it off, I'm like, all right, back to reality.
Back to
and I think
normal,
it's hard for a lot of people to like detach that. Like
Right.
as soon as you like turn the app off, like it is what it is. But some people are like still thinking about it and harping on it. Like, how come I'm still not like this person? And I think that's just like debilitating,
Right.
Especially when you're trying to achieve something.
And I think with us, one of the first conversations that we had was that we're gonna stay in our lane.
Yeah.
There's a million bloggers and
But there's not a lot of
influencers,
sister
exactly.
bloggers, so-
And
Right.
regardless, our niche. And on top of that, we always told ourselves like, we're not gonna compare ourselves to others, even though it's like a natural human thing to do.
Right.
Subconsciously, we do it all the time, even when we're walking down the street. But we literally would say like, just tunnel vision. Like this is our thing. Like we will progress how we need to progress, and we're not gonna try to like compare ourselves. Like we're just gonna try to just do what we have to do, and that so far it's worked out for us. Sometimes I would say, have we like even? We've gone on like sister, because right now, like
if anything,
the
I look to
bloggers-
see like what they're doing and how we could do it in our own way. How
Right.
we could spin it in our own way, or how we could do it different.
Right.
That's like how I see it. Not like, oh, they're doing something better than us, or not really.
Yeah.
So I think that's like one of the biggest struggles, right? And someone told me early on, when I was one of my mentors actually, he was like, creativity is hiding the source, and I was like, what does that mean, right? And he was like, there's nothing under the sun that is like completely and utterly new, right? A lot of innovative thoughts are people seeing something and how it works in that way and saying, okay, how can it work better, or how can I put my touch or my spin on it, right? And I think that's the danger of, or the good and bad thing about comparing, right? If you can be in a healthy space to compare yourself, to say, okay, this is what someone else is doing, and that's cool that they're doing it this way, but how can I put my angle on it, my spin on it? But a lot of people don't have that forward thinking, right? They like, oh my God, they're doing it and I'm not there yet, so now I'm ready to give up. You know what I mean? Or, and a lot of people don't have it. It's dope when you do things in pairs, right? I think, especially who you're partnered with on any venture, right, is critical to success, because you piggyback off each other, you bounce off each other. When one is down, the other one can bring you up. When one ain't feeling it, the other one is.
It's an energy thing.
It's an energy thing.
You're
Absolutely.
feeding off of it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can say honestly, there's been times where it's just like, I don't even know. Like, I've loved the podcast and I want to do it, but like some day, like that particular day may not be the day, and then this fool will come in like, "What's good, guys? What's good? What's good?"
I'm calling that joke. Oh my God, Eddie, what?
terrified me, and that's your fault because you did that. But I think the truth of the matter is that the fact that you know each other, right? Who else knows you better than your sister, right? And had it not been for us being able to have spent so many years together and really knowing each other, if we would have just came in fresh, two people not really knowing each other,
Hell nah, it wouldn't
the
work.
synergy probably wouldn't have been
Right.
plug. The synergy probably wouldn't have been what it is now. But the fact that you two have that synergy and can really, just bounce off each other, I think is dope. So, and I think that probably is what has the driving force in making you be able to manifest, right?
Yeah.
We were just talking about manifestation. That's so funny
Yeah.
that you mentioned that. But that's
Yeah.
You know what I'm
This
saying?
was meant to
I
be.
mean,
so. We were literally just talking
it's
about
been
that.
all
This was
week.
meant to
All
be.
week we've been talking about
Talk to me.
manifestation.
What y'all was talking
Yeah.
about?
So, I just saw this girl on the internet, and she was talking about how her dad told her to manifest what qualities you want in a husband. So she wrote down all the qualities, and then I see her on Instagram pop up with a ring. So I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So I told her about it. So she made a list, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make my list and like see what happens, because
Yeah.
it's just what you put out.
Yeah, I got rings. Somebody proposed to y'all.
Not quite, you know.
They single. They single. You know what I mean?
not quite.
They
We're
single.
You
Very
know,
single.
inbox is not.
She said very.
Inbox
Very.
is dry.
Inbox is dry.
I hate
but,
people be lying. Look, these
no,
the first
I'm
people on the
dead
show to
ass.
start lying. The first people on the show to
No,
start.
it's dead ass.
Everybody, ain't nobody phone empty. Let's just start by that.
It's
Ain't
us
nobody.
two talking to each other.
Yeah,
We're friends.
our family group chat, our friend group chat, our
Yeah.
group beef. But that whole manifestation conversation, I think, goes into like lifestyle. Like, make that manifestation your lifestyle. Like, don't just say things, because people say things all the time. Oh, I want to start a business. Oh, I want to start an app. I want to do this. But what are you doing to make that happen? And
Yeah,
that
right.
Putting
we
in the work, right.
fell
Yeah.
into that trap because
Yeah.
we would constantly say, oh, like, let's do the blog, and then we would start the Squarespace, but not really pay for it. And then we would, take steps, but take steps back at the same
Yeah.
time. And so we were like going in circles. And so once we like got serious and like started writing down by August, we need to have X.
Yeah, deadlines.
Setting deadlines, like writing things down, like
Set the photo shoot.
setting the
do
photo
this.
photo shoot. To me, that's manifesting your goals like in real time.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
One thing that somebody told me was like, although the field that you want to be in may be saturated with a whole bunch of people, just like you said, whole bunch of bloggers, beauty, travel, whatever. I mean, all of they aren't you. You know what I mean? And
So true.
you also have to remember that they started somewhere as well, and it wasn't like they were the first people to start it. They started when other people were doing it as well. There could be other sisters doing what you guys are doing, but they aren't you.
Right.
There may be something about you two where people just be like, nah, I'm on that team.
I think a lot of people harp on that way too much because even if you look at it from a practical sense, right? So I'm from Jersey City, and if you're from any urban area, right?
Right.
There's a corner store or a poppy store.
Oh, yeah.
On every corner.
Every corner. Every corner. Right.
They all eating.
Everybody eating, right?
Right?
Of course.
There's
of course.
a beauty salon or a barber shop.
Yeah, beauty shop. All
Damn
that.
near every other block.
Yeah.
Everybody's eating.
Everybody getting
You know what I mean?
paid.
So I think people have to get out their own head, and I think it all boils down to a fear factor, right? Because
Yeah,
it's like
sure.
whatever the case may be, you can make 1,000 excuses, but as soon as you make up in your mind that you're not going to make any excuses, that's when
do
you
it.
win.
Right.
That's when you start
Right.
winning, right?
Right.
So it's not even about like that's the layer of what we say. It's oversaturated. Oh, is it? But deep down, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm scared.
The millennial bubble is so big. There's people in many facets up within that bubble that's doing something of our era. But for people that's as far as like the creative section, for people that's being creative, we're more inclined because we know what it's like. You literally starting from ground zero,
Right.
and you don't know where to go, here, there, nothing, and you have to latch on to people to learn. Even if you don't receive anything, you at least want to learn something to get in a space where you're comfortable doing what you're doing, and you can map out a plan and you know exactly what you have to do. But it's kind of discouraging sometimes when just like what you guys are saying, when you got people close to you that they see what you're doing and they themselves want to do it, but because they can't, they kind of draw back from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
Sad.
like going. It's real sad.
Sad.
It's real sad.
It's very
So,
sad.
let me ask you guys a question. So as far as Like what is? Okay, so for everybody up here, for you two, when you see people gaining success and traction in the field that you guys are looking into, does that discourage you?
Absolutely not.
Right.
Like, I can never understand a hater mentality. Like, why would you want to see somebody do bad or not see them do good? Like, I would never understand that. Like, if somebody reached 1 million followers in a week, like, yo, good for you. Like, that's dope. Like, nobody does that. Like,
I look at what they're doing and how we can do what they're doing in our own way. Like you said, that healthy competition mentality, like that healthy positivity. Like, what are you doing? Wow, you're doing, like, let's link, let's talk, let's have coffee, let's discuss, like, let's network, let's build each other up. And I never.
It's important to not try to use. That's the
right,
thing.
definitely.
It could be a fine line.
And I think
that's
what it is. There's so many people who are broken. There's so many people who've been abused.
That's true.
There's so many people who just don't know genuine. Like a lot of people just don't know how to be genuine. You know?
Yeah.
Of course.
So when you reach a certain level of success, that's a lot of people that I talk to that like it's not that I want to be this way.
Right.
But I just don't know who I can trust, and it's real because if you get to a certain point and you jeopardize everything or somebody that was just that didn't mean you well from the get, it's hard. It's hard.
So I don't get discouraged, but I definitely fall into this trap. Well, I'll be like, so like for me, it's like, no, I'm rocking what y'all saying, but for me sometimes it's not really. I guess you could call it hating. It's not really hating, but I guess you could deem it.
Though?
So like it's not a hate thing. Okay,
right,
so
explain.
for me, I'm in like the entertainment field, so everything's entertainment cool. I'll see somebody do something, I'm like, that is not funny.
Yeah.
Like
But
that
it's
is
funny to
not
somebody
funny.
though.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I would be like, hey, come on. Like I was literally watching this guy's skit the other day. He just makes these random skits, and it'll be. I swear to God, the skit was him being across the street. He was walking. There was a group of women on the other side of the street. You laughing already? There was a group of women on the other side of the street. They're literally just walking across, right? So he's screaming across the street. Yo, what's up? What's up? Let me holler. What's up? And the girls are on the group like, he is so terrible. And that was the end of the video. And I was like, and he has like 300 comments. And I'm like, what the? This is not funny.
Doesn't that motivate you to be like,
Yes.
what the heck? Like, if that's the topic, like, why I like that's
That's the trap I fall in.
That's like,
That's what I fall in. Where I be like, okay, now if that's funny,
I'll kablow.
I know I'm about to bring some heat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's the trip. That's the trap that I fall in, where it's not really hating. You know, like my hat goes off to anybody that's trying to do anything that's outside of what is normal. You know what I mean? Because I know what it takes to even initially start. You know what I mean? So when I see that, my hat goes off. But then after a while, it's like, nah.
I can definitely see that side of hating. Like, it's not hating, but
and
I
don't even know if you can
that.
call it hating.
I don't think hating is the right
I think it's
right.
critiquing.
I was
Like
gonna say
maybe
but
it's critiquing.
It's so easy. Everybody's a hater now. If you don't like something that you like,
then you automatically are deemed a hater.
If I'm doing something
right.
and you honestly tell me like I'm not with it, oh, he hating. Like no, he's
Right.
not hating.
I'm just
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
It's just not for me.
That's just not for you.
It's just not for me.
You can't have an opinion anymore that is contrary to what that person has without being a hater.
Right. So let me ask you guys a question. As far as your peers are concerned, do you guys think that you're at the same level as them, or are you at a lower level, or are you at a higher level?
So I think it depends on what sense you're talking about. Relationship-wise, job-wise, like
Life.
Life-wise, the whole picture.
So as far as your life, what you're doing with this new business and this new business venture that you guys have now, you know, do you think that puts you over them, or do you think that you're maybe lower than what your friends might be doing? You might have a friend that has a successful job making like mad money, you know, and it's like, okay, do you consider yourself to be lower than that person, or do you think you and your friends are like at the same level?
So for me, I think to me, it depends on what your definition of a success is.
Right.
Like, okay, is success being happy and doing what you love? I think as a whole picture, it's hard to measure ourselves against our peers. To me, that's like a really hard thing to do. Mm-hmm. But I think there's aspects of ourselves that we're striving for, that like you know, we still want to buy a condo. Like we still have goals that we want to meet. That maybe
some of our friends already have.
Some of our friends
condos.
have.
Some
their own
are
houses.
about to get married. Like,
I got some good friends.
yeah, like
Yeah.
some are stable in their career. Like I feel like I'm not really in my career yet. She's stable in her career.
Yeah.
She has her master's. I don't.
Right,
so it's like
Yeah.
even a sibling thing. There's differences between us, but like we never like experience jealousy between one another. We like never even compare.
No.
Like,
and it's like natural because we're sisters. Like
Right.
so that's a natural comparison. And as unfortunate as I hate that. Like I honestly like hate that feeling like that people like subconsciously do that because I know people do that. But within us, it's like when I graduated with my master's, she was supporting me. Like when
for sure.
I'm pushing her to go back to like to get her marketing degree, like whatever. Like we push each other in that sense. We get a lot of I would say from our parents, there's a lot of comparison. Yeah, because again, our parents are Jamaican. I came to this country and
I earned everything.
We get that lecture every single day.
Literally.
I could only imagine.
So it's like
They said.
They said together in unison. This takes place all the time. So, as far as social media is concerned, you know, what do you consider success, or do you think social media distorts what we all consider success?
Oh yeah,
for sure.
There's a meme that's been like going around. It's like people never post their failures.
Right.
Yeah.
And like that's just been like really repeating in my head. Like no one's about to post when like they can't pay their rent, when they get fired, when they're down. People are always. That's why social media is. You curate your own life. Like it's a highlight reel of your best moments.
Right.
So it's not real. And I think people get sucked into that and like, oh, they see when you're engaged, they see you traveling the world, they see all of these highlights, and it's like, wow, I'm not doing that.
Right.
I don't have enough savings, I don't have this, I don't have that. And then you look at yourself and you're insecure, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I'm here, they're there. But again, it's not real, and I think people need to like have that mentality. Like, I'm looking at this like on my phone, but that's not the full package of that person.
For sure.
But when you talk about social media right now, if people were to actually put their failures or how, you know what I mean, like what putting them down or them not being in the best space, do you think people would really gravitate to that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen it. Like I've seen people like, yo, I'm so depressed. Like life is horrible, and people are like, yo, me too, like thank you for being so open and real. Like I've seen it before. You know, some people are attracted to like
real,
like
what's real,
authenticity.
Right.
You know,
I've seen people post the come up and
That
then they'll explain
how they got
how it even got to this point, like, and they'll say right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, a lot of people like that part.
That's the humility. That's
right.
I didn't forget where I came from.
It's like I was saying earlier, the key is just to start.
Yeah.
You have to start. You can't look back. Once you just hit the ground, just go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's the hardest part.
That is the hardest part.
I remember the literal first day that we posted.
I was cringing.
We were,
I was in my bed, like cringing.
We were having anxiety. We
Really?
were like,
Yeah,
we
it
just
was
flipped
bad.
our phone over. We're like, okay,
right.
I'm not even gonna look. Like, and then
And people loved
we're
it.
like,
Bro,
sweat-
I mean, my phone was
It only took 40 minutes.
40 minutes to get that out. Look, right.
it, like our friends were hitting us
Yeah.
up, like everybody. And
Our
I was
friends
like,
were
wait,
sharing
this
us.
is OD. Like
we're like, it's happening. Like, whatever, just let it roll. And like,
she did it. She's like, I'm posting. I was like, no, don't do it. Don't do
and
it.
I think the thing with us is like, we're sisters, we're best friends, but now we're also business partners.
Yeah.
And I think that's a different dynamic that we're not really used to. And I think working together in that aspect is that's navigating a whole different relationship.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And even probably with you two, like you are friends, but now you're business partners.
I really want the audience to. There's going to be a lot of people who watch who are really just jumping out and starting. And I think one of the key factors that helped me in terms of any venture that I've started is that one of the tips that I learned early on is that no matter where you are, there's always someone who isn't there yet. Right? And so you keep looking at yourself and saying, I'm not an expert at this, I'm not an expert level in that. But guess what? Like, they're still high school kids, right? Who don't have your life experience yet, who are still looking on YouTube for everything, on Instagram for everything, right? So no matter where you are in your life, you are further along than someone, right? And so it's important for you to just get it out there. Don't worry about it being perfect. Don't worry about being the best. But just put it out there, because no matter what, someone can benefit from it.
I feel like that comparison's probably the healthiest one. That's the thing. Like, you could drive yourself crazy comparing yourself to other people, but if you like have your own timeline, your own looking back at your own past, what can I do in the future? I think that's probably the best way to compare yourself.
And always looking back on your growth and where you did come from, because it's easy to be like, but I'm not here yet. I'm still not here yet. But look where I was 2 years ago, and look how far I did come. So for anyone else who is taking that leap of faith, look how far you did come and what steps you're taking to reach that goal. That makes a big difference.
What would be the last things you would say to people who compare themselves to other people on social media? Like, what would be your last words?
My last words that I would say to people is, it is all right to not be caught up with the Joneses. Create your own lane, and you gotta just stick with it. Find out what works for you, and also don't be discouraged by failing. You know, like that failing puts you in position to win.
Yeah.
My biggest one, I touched on it a little bit, is just authenticity. So finding your own voice, right? There have been instances, and I know Dejan has done it for his reasons. I know I do it like at least like once a year. But now it's funny, we talked about it before, how in social media, like I'll just detach from social media, like I'll delete my Instagram.
Why do you feel the need to have like social media breaks? I'm curious, because I know a lot of people do that, and I've never done it because I just never felt the need to.
Right.
So I'm curious.
For me personally, there are a lot of instances where my creativity is clouded because I'm constantly looking at what other people are doing. And so for me I'm so big on everything that I've done, right? Has been inspired in different ways, but I genuinely can go full force on it because it's something that I feel wholeheartedly that came from me, right? And so with different concepts of different things, like sometimes I remember Dejan even asked me like, yo, how do you come up with some of this stuff? And I'm like, I don't know, like it's literally either divine, like through my meditation, through my prayer, but because I detach and allow it to know that it's my voice, then I can go full force with it. Because as soon as I get into something that I feel like I got from somewhere else, or someone else who's doing this, so now I just hopped on it to be cool or trendy, and then it doesn't go well, now I'm back and I'm mad because I wasn't treated me, right? But if I do something that was 100% my voice, and I feel like God was telling me like, this is you, and it doesn't work out right away, I'm okay with that because I can keep doing that.
What I have to say two things, and I'll make it quick. Is the first one is to take that leap of faith. You know, it's easy to say, you know, this is security, or like I feel comfortable here. But once you take that one step out of your comfort zone, it's so cliche, but that's really where the magic happens, and that's where all of the opportunities are. So
And you would never know.
You would never know because you're just so scared to take that step. And so take that step, be around people who support you genuinely. That's gonna just help you to get to where you're going, and keep that authenticity, just like you guys said, and just be real. Like, to me, that's the biggest thing. We're not trying to be perfect. We're not perfect. We're not this perfect sister duo. And I think that's what's gonna reach people, because we're gonna post, you know, our skin struggles, and we're gonna post, you know, like where we started working out and where we are now, because we didn't, you know, we all came from somewhere. So just be real and have that core group of supporters that will just be there for you.
For sure. Just naturally, it's easy to compare yourself to other people, just point blank. But just remember, not everything you see on Instagram is real. Not everything you see on YouTube is their real, true life. Like,
most of it is scripted.
Not even that. Like what she mentioned, like
or lying.
It's a highlight of your best moments. Like, people see our Instagram and be like, y'all travel every day, and we're like, no,
I had to save. I saved for that trip.
We save. We we put in work to go on these
Yeah.
trips, and it's not every day. Like,
Yeah.
It
I
just
don't-
seemed like
it
right.
just seems
it seems
To
like
them,
it
it
because
may
I don't
seem like it, right.
because I don't post often. So if
Right.
I go on a trip in January, I don't
Yeah.
post until April. It looks
Right.
like back to back, but that's not the case whatsoever. We have our own struggles. You know, just
We're nowhere where we want to be in terms of like our goals. I mean,
all
we've
aspects
reached
of
a
life.
lot, but like this is like, you know, surface. We're not even where we want to be.
Yeah.
So that's exciting for me too, because it's motivating. Like if this is just like, I can't wait to see what's in
Yeah.
store. Like I'm genuinely excited.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard it from some of the best right here. And they just starting out. They just starting out, and they already know what's really good with this situation. It's a beautiful
we
thing.
studied the game.
It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful
Students of
thing.
the game.
Students of the
Feel
game.
me, feel me.
We appreciate y'all for
We
tuning
do.
into the Male Intuition. Thank you again to our lovely guest, Kelly and Shannon.
What a lovely episode.
Thank you.
Where can they find you?
So we have our Instagram, Kelly and Shannon.
Kelly and Shannon M
M.
on Instagram. Our website is kellyandshannon.com. So follow us.
Follow us on the website. You can subscribe to our newsletter. Stay tuned for our blog. We have a lot of blog content that we're dropping. A couple more trips planned. So stay tuned.
Well, we on the lookout. I follow the page. I don't know about y'all.
Okay.
Y'all need to follow the page too. Like I said, I got excited. So I'm looking
Thank you.
forward to
Thank
it.
you. We
know,
appreciate
thank you,
the
and
support.
Thank
we
you for
appreciate
supporting
you
us.
guys pulling up. Nah,
Thank you for
real.
coming. Thank you for
Inviting
inviting
us.
us.
This
That
is
was
dope,
huge for
for
us.
sure.
So.
No problem at all, man. So, you know, once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Dejan. Holla at me. You know where to find me on IG at Dejan B Trippin'. That's exactly what you just heard me say. DAJONBETRI.
Do you really be tripping?
Sometimes.
So you can find me on IG, I guess when I get back.
Yeah, you need to.
At _ Taylor, TAILORED _ and that's it.
On Twitter too.
Sure.
And that's on everything.
And that's on everything.
That's on
Put
everything.
that on everything.
We appreciate y'all coming out. Look forward. We'll have something, and we not.
Oh, make sure you follow the Male Intuition.
Get at the Male Intuition. Follow our page. Get that thing buzzing. You heard? And then get at us on YouTube and iTunes as well.
$1 million pose with these $1 million flows. I ain't thinking about a deal, ain't $1 million no. Back up on my face, I got $1 million glow. Sell your soul for some clothes, now you reaping what you sow. I been kicking ass, I got $1 million toe. I be quarterbacking deals, that's $1 million pro. Keep your greasy weave off my couch, that's a no. The rugged's alpaca, that's $1 million throw. Pillow on the floor, disobeyed it, you can go. King D, MSG, that's a